In this video, I will teach you how to do your Plankerton storm shields all by yourself. This is the best and most complete storm shield tutorial video that you can find in the entire web. So if you want to know how you can do your Plankerton storm shield defenses, you are in the right place and you don't need to watch any other video. Doing this storm shields took me a while and it will take you a while because you have to go to different missions and grind for mats, so you will be able to craft traps and put in your storm shields. I made separate videos for Plankerton storm shields 1 to 10 and this video is summary of that all together. Also guys, I don't have any money. If you want to help me feed myself, use code FANCY with an S in Fortnite item shop. Thank you so much. Just click on this yellow skeleton, which is your Plankerton map, then click on the storm shield. Your map will open up step by step when you do your storm shield. Place this bunker, which I don't know what the name is for it, let's call it the main base. Do some builds around it. Husks will attack from south, north and west to the main base. Upgrade your builds, then put few traps in these 3 directions. It's better to put the traps that you can craft yourself, because later you can pickaxe them, get the materials back and craft them again. You don't need to go crazy about the traps, just put something that can help you for a while. Later when we install all our Amplifier hosts will attack only from north to the main base. Also it's a storm shield defense one, so it's going to be easy. Now go ahead, start your storm shield and kill the hosts with your guns. It was very easy for me, hopefully it will be easy for you too and you can successfully finish this storm shield defense. Remember, you can click on wait for assist for other players to join you and help you, but before launching to the game you must have your party on public and your server on Europe, because that's where most players are. After you successfully finish your Plankerton storm shield defense 1, your Plankerton map will open and also you will be able to evolve your weapons, heroes and survivors to 2-star. In second storm shield, we are asked to put our first amplifier, which I recommend to be this one, in the south. Husks will attack Amplifier A from south, east and west, and they will no longer attack main base from south. You can see the map of all possible places that Husks could attack you in a storm shield defense 2. For these storm shield defenses, we need broadside trap. Either craft them yourself, epic and legendary will do, or give the material to someone you trust and ask them to craft it for you. First, I go and build defenses for east part of Amplifier A. Now I go and build defenses for south part of Amplifier A. Finally, I go and build defenses for west part of Amplifier A. Now I go back to the main base, I break the unnecessary traps and I reinforce the main base from east and north side. If you don't have enough traps like me, you need to know that I was grinding for mats for about 2 or 3 hours before coming to Storm Shield. This is what you also need to do if it's needed. After you feel like you are ready with everything, you can go ahead and start the Storm Shield. For Storm Shield Defense 3 we must install another amplifier, and I'm going to install this one, which is west side of main base. If you don't install your amplifiers like me, then you'll face a totally different story and you have to figure things out by yourself. After we install Amplifier B, husks will not attack main base from west, they will attack main base only from north. And for Amplifier B, husks will attack from north, west and south. Here you can see the map of all possible locations that husks could attack you in Storm Shield Defense 3. Anyway, we have to build some defenses for Amplifier B. So first I will go and build defenses for north side of Amplifier B. You can see that I have all these parallel 130 traps, but I'm not using them and I'm crafting my own traps, because purpose of this video is to show you how to do things by yourself, and no one in Plankerton could possibly have any parallel 130 traps without anyone's help. Even I use parallel 51 weapons for my Storm Shield, and any Plankerton player could craft them. Now I go to west part of Amplifier B. I cannot do much for this side because it is very close to the barrier. The only thing I can do is to extend this tunnel by a small trap tunnel. If you get unlucky and husks attack you from this direction, then you have to kill the husks with your gun and try to somehow manage and pass the wave. Now I go build defenses for south part of Amplifier B. finally I go to the main base and I break the traps that I kept for the husks that were attacking from west side, but because they are not attacking from west to the main base anymore, so I can break the traps and get the materials back. For Storm Shield Defense 4 we must install another amplifier, and I'm going to install this one, which is east side of main base. This will be our C amplifier. Husks will attack from north, east and south to amplifier C. Here you can see the map of all possible locations that husks could attack you in Storm Shield Defense 4. Now I'm going to build defenses for amplifier C. First I'll build defenses for east and south part of amplifier C. What I'm building right now will cover both east and south part of amplifier C. South part don't matter that much because later when we install more amplifiers, husks will not attack amplifier C from south. Now I go and build defenses for north side of amplifier C. Now I go ahead and put the traps in the trap tunnels. One thing you should know about electric field trap is it will damage the husks from 2 stores above. If you don't have electric field traps, third traps would do a similar thing. But if you don't have both, it's not a big deal right now, but you need to get them for future. You can see that I'm not filling my trap tunnels with a lot of traps. That is because I'm low on traps and I'm not going to use my high level traps, because purpose of this video is to show you how to do things by yourself. So now I'm trying to manage my traps in a way that I can put some traps in every trap tunnel. For now this will do the job, but later I must go grind for mats and craft more traps for the storm shield. Now I go to amplifier B. Previously the barrier was very close to the amplifier, but now barrier pushed back little bit and I have more space to work with. Still barrier is very close to the amplifier and I cannot build a proper trap tunnel for west side of amplifier B. Trying to build some temporary defenses so if husks attack from west side to amplifier B, I could somehow manage and pass the wave. Later when the storm push back more, I will destroy these and I will build a proper trap tunnel for this direction. Here also I did a small modification for south part of amplifier B. Plankerton Storm Shield Defense 5 is very similar to Plankerton Storm Shield Defense 4 and it doesn't need any explanation. The reason for that is we don't need to install any new amplifier. Here you can see the map of all possible locations that Husk could attack in Storm Shield Defense 5 and you can see it's identical to the one we had in Storm Shield Defense 4. The only thing that I did for Storm Shield Defense 5 was I just went through my trap tunnels and I put more traps in them. Because between Storm Shield 4 and 5 I played some missions and I ground for mass in those missions, so I had more mass to craft more traps and put in my trap tunnel. I also extended the trap tunnel which was west side of amplifier B and put more traps in it. In Storm Shield Defense 6 we must install our D amplifier and I'm going to install this one which is southeast of main base. After we install this amplifier, Husks will not attack amplifier A from east and amplifier C from south. So now we can go ahead, break the defenses related to these two directions and get our materials back. Husks will attack from south and east to amplifier D. Now we go ahead and build defenses for this amplifier. First we'll build defenses for east part of amplifier D. Now we go ahead and build defenses for south part of amplifier D. must go and check on our previous trap tunnels and see if they need more reinforcement with traps. This step is very important because if you feel a trap tunnel is weak and it needs more traps in it, you must do that, otherwise you will face problem. After I checked everything and put more traps in the trap tunnels which were in need of it, I moved to west part of Amplifier B, and still the barrier is not far enough to make a good trap tunnel for this direction. So I just put more traps in the trap based defense which I made for it in previous videos. Hopefully in next storm shield barrier will push back enough for us to make a good trap tunnel. For me everything is done and I'm ready to start the game. Here is the map of all possible locations that husks could attack you in a storm shield defense 6. Before you do your Plankerton Storm Shield Defense 7, it is better for you to do your Canny Valley Storm Shield Defense 1. If you want to know how to do that, click on the card here. I'm asking you to do your Canny Valley Storm Shield Defense 1 because after that you will be able to upgrade your weapons, heroes and traps to 3 star, and that will help you to fight the zombies much easier. Storm Shield Defense 1 is very similar to a Storm Shield Defense 6. You can see the map of all possible locations which is identical to the one we had in SSD 6. In a Storm Shield Defense 7, finally the barrier pushed back enough so that we can build a decent trap tunnel for west part of Amplifier B. Building this trap tunnel could be little bit confusing, so pay close attention to the way that I'm building it. Now I must do a small modification to south part of Amplifier B. If you remember, husks were spawning next to the trap tunnel and I don't want that to be a problem if it happens again. Because we are going to face higher level zombies, so I need to do a small modification to north of Amplifier B as well. After that I just went around and did some minor adjustments to the trap tunnels which I felt they needed. I'm not going to explain that in detail because I want to keep my videos short and simple, and also by now you must be experienced enough to know what you need to do and what you don't. So all I can say is go with your guts. If you feel like you need to do something, just do it. But the only thing which is important for you to know is the modification which I made to south part of Amplifier A. In Storm Shield Defense 8 we must install our final amplifier, and I'm going to install this one, which is northwest of main base. This will be our E amplifier. The good news is husks will not attack Amplifier E at all. They will attack Amplifier E only during the endurance and war games. But now we are doing our ordinary storm shields and we don't need to be worried about this amplifier. So we place it and we leave it as it is. After we install Amplifier E, husks will not attack Amplifier B from north. So we can go ahead and break the defenses related to that direction. Now we do a small adjustment for west part of Amplifier B. Barrier push back further and we can do a little bit more for that direction. This is the map of all possible locations that husks could attack you in Storm Shield Defense 8. Plankerton Storm Shields 9 and 10 are both identical to each other and they are similar to Plankerton Storm Shield Defense 8. Here you can see the map of all possible locations that husks can attack you in Storm Shield Defense 9 and 10, and it is similar to the map of all possible locations in Storm Shield Defense 8. For these two final Storm Shields I can just go ahead and start the Storm Shield because by now there is nothing to do and nothing to say. I completed all the trap tunnels in all directions and I put the maximum possible traps in all of them. So these two final storm shields should be almost effortless if your defenses are as good as mine, and your defenses should be as good as mine because I explained everything from Storm Shield Defense 1 to Storm Shield Defense 8. If you are not able to pass these two final storm shields and your defenses are weak, then there is a high chance that you are one of those guys who skip throughout the videos and don't listen to the things properly. If that's the case for you, then I'm sorry, I cannot help. You have to go back and watch the videos again, this time properly and completely. But if you did everything exactly like me and still you are failing, then you need to upgrade your builds. I didn't upgrade my builds because I'm lazy on that. I have to go farm the material, come back here and upgrade, and I don't want to do that. And the reason for that is I'm a professional. I know how to handle the situation if things go wrong. I don't cheat. I handle the situation with my parallel 77 weapons, which by now you must be able to craft. But for you it's much safer and much more secure if you just upgrade your builds to the maximum possible level. If you upgraded your builds and you still find it difficult to pass these two final storm shields, then extend your trap tunnels little bit and you should be fine. Now I'm going to teach you some tricks which will make Storm Shield Defense 9 and 10 little bit easier for you. I said this before but I'm going to repeat them again in case if you missed it. First thing is upgrade your build. Second is kill the smashers as soon as they spawn. And the final thing is when you see these zombies that are carrying a gas cylinder on their shoulders, try to fight them and explode them before they go in your trap tunnel. You can do that by shooting at the gas cylinder which they are holding. And also remember, try not to fight the zombies inside your trap tunnels at all. Let the traps do their job. Now that you made it to the end of the video, let me show you a secret place which exists in Plankerton Storm Shield map. If you move to north side of Amplifier C, you will see this little hut. Now go ahead and break this floor. Beneath it there is a mine full of coal, quartz and copper ore. Do not come here and farm this if you didn't start the mission, because if you do that you can farm them only once and they disappear after that. So first start your Storm Shield, war game or your endurance, then come here and start farming them, because after the mission is over everything will reset to its original phase and this material will come back as well. So like that you will be able to farm them infinitely. Now let's roll this outro for one last time.